So this hole right here, I dug this out with a backhoe just recently. And this is a result of living out here for about 16 months and observing the land and how the water flows out here and where it goes and that kind of thing. The very first week we moved out here, the property completely flooded. This whole area is in a low spot on the property. All the water comes down here and then the wash is right behind you guys. This is about 6,000 gallon capacity right here for water, and this water will be used for the farm operation that I'm gonna have over here, as well as the other hole you're gonna see, which is bigger than this one. It was almost like a welcome from the property to me, say welcome to living off grid. And, and I thought I had every plan figured out. So, it was one of those things that it made me quickly learn to respect the weather, and I respect nature, because these monsoons are no joke out here. When we first moved out here, we were in the middle of a drought, and the drought had went on for years, and this whole property looked like scorched earth. I mean, it was completely dirt, if you can imagine that. All those trees were dead. And so one of the things that I wanted to do out here was I wanted to let the vegetation grow and just keep it growing regardless of how ugly it looked, regardless of whether they're weeds or not, because the roots are gonna help with erosion and they help build up the soil. So I just finally knocked down these weeds because they died. And what I'm gonna be doing with all this stuff on the ground here, as you'll see, is I actually will take this into the chicken pen and use this for cover on the ground so nothing goes to waste. I used to get like 6 bales of straw and come in here and spread it out, and between the wind and them, it was a waste of money. So realized the weeds do just the same thing. There's 2 things that brought me out to this point: mixed martial arts and HOAs. Way long ago, back in the late 90s, early 2000, I was a semi-pro fighter. I fought middleweight, and I met my wife doing it. I breathed it, I lived it. It was my life. That's all I did was train. There was a certain depression that came after doing something physically for so long. Your body's just used to it, and it's just something you want to do all the time, and then realizing that that's not going to be your life anymore. And so I really had to find something else to keep my mind occupied. I said, I think I want to practice gardening. These here are just pepper plants that are probably going to die soon. So I started growing a bunch of peppers, and I realized I got these started way too late. And so these here are kind of hanging on for dear life. I failed at it, but I kept doing it, and I just kept doing it. Gardening was a gateway to homesteading. And this is how I've lost over 30 pounds being out here. 16 months, 30 pounds. Homesteading checks every single box for me as an ex-fighter, that I can be competitive with it. I can do physical work, which was really important to me. What I'm doing right now is I'm using a caliche bar. I can do squats, I can do curls. So you could get all your exercise you need doing this. I feel that almost anybody can do it, because whether you're living in the suburban, house, or you're living out on a farm, a lifestyle of self-sufficiency means that you practice a lifestyle to be self-sufficient. This right here, these stones here, you'll look at them, they don't think they're that deep in the ground, but they are.